Siphamandla Goke, who is on standby for us in Nkandla. And Siphamandla, I'll mention the supporters of the former president of Brazil, Lula Inácio da Silva, who had said there is absolutely no way that anyone will come for President Lula and actually make sure that he goes to prison. I've been drawing these parallels in my mind with those people that are there in Nkandla under the banner of the MKMVA. What has been their reaction to the news that the Constitutional Court says one Jacob Gedlehlekisa Zuma of Gwadunuse homestead in Nkandla must report to prison, to a police station, to start serving his term within 5 days?
Indeed, that is the case. I can tell you that it's very interesting that you are mentioning former President Lula da Silva. Yesterday, the Jacob Zuma Foundation tweeting a picture of the former president of Brazil there. You can tell that they were anticipating this and they were drawing those parallels or similarities in this case. Former President Jacob Zuma's supporters have been adamant that he will not be arrested. I can tell you for sure that it's clear now that he is going to jail. According to that judgment, it's a question of him being given 5 days to report. It's either at Nkandla police station or somewhere in Johannesburg. The question now for correctional services is, after he has handed himself over, where is he going to? Will it be Kalagabusha prison in KwaZulu-Natal, or will it be Westville prison in Durban, which is still in KZN, or somewhere in Kgosimampuru in Gauteng? All of that is dependent on where the former president will hand himself over to. I can tell you that here some of those MKMVA members are still waiting here. There isn't much that they have said to us. Initially they had agreed to give us a comment earlier, but they said they were waiting for the judgment. I can tell you that they've been putting calls through, calling each other. I've been hearing conversations about commander, and I can tell you that they are reporting to each other and they are organizing more of MKMVA members to come here and show support and solidarity to the former president. Remember, Tula Sizwe, on the 19th of July, when you and I are in Pietermaritzburg for former President Jacob Zuma's fraud and corruption case, where that application about state lead prosecutor advocate Billy Downer is expected to be heard, former President Jacob Zuma would have woken up at a correctional facility. He will go to the High Court Division of KwaZulu-Natal, sitting in Pietermaritzburg, having woken up at a correctional facility, having been part of a head count, having had his fingerprints taken and processed. He will be escorted by members of correctional services to the High Court of KwaZulu-Natal, sitting in Pietermaritzburg. Some of his family members say they are not bothered by this judgment. They were expecting it. Well, it seems as if they are still adamant that he's not going to go to jail, but we all know how these things pan out. At the end of the day, former President Jacob Zuma will report to the police station, will go to a correctional facility. There are no two ways about it. Here at Nkandla, it's calm. Some of community members here said they have not heard about the judgment. They say they are not bothered because they know that you, the media, that's how they put it, you've been after the former president for a very long time now. So they say they are unbothered. We did ask a couple of people here what's their reaction. They said, well, we were expecting anything, but we have not heard the judgment, but we know that Zuma is the most hated person. That seems to be the view of some people here in Nkandla, but we are unable to form an opinion on that because we only asked a couple of people here. So that's the situation here. We expect that more and more MKMVA members will be coming here. The former president is not in KwaZulu-Natal, he's out of the province. Our sources are telling us that he was preparing to go to Zambia to pay homage to the fallen struggle icon and the Pan-Africanist, the former president of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. But that is not going to happen. I assume that at some point after 5 days, he needs to come back to Nkandla, hand himself over. If he doesn't do that, police have 3 days to ensure that they enforce that decision and judgment of the High Court.
Siphamandla, stand by.
Court, rather,
absolutely. Siphamandla, stand by. I will come back to you and you can reflect on some of the statements that former President Jacob Zuma has made about the question of going to prison, because you and I remember that it was his own words that said, I'd rather go to jail. If I go to jail, so be it. Those are not the exact words, but words to that effect. So I'll ask you in a moment to reflect on some of those statements that were read by the Constitutional Court as someone who kept digging deeper into this mud, into this quagmire that he found himself in, instead of moving away, the Constitutional Court saying that he kept digging himself in even deeper. Let me take it back.